Karen told me to remind you if this was your cabin, I'm on my way to the woodshed. Have to see what I have for lumber because I'm going to make all the woodwork I need to finish up the Spur Cabin. We have base to put in over there, and we have some corner trim and some ceiling trim and whatnot. So we're on Red Moose Ranch, by the way, for those of you just joining us or who may be wondering. Why Red Moose Ranch? Well, we have seen a couple of moose in the area. Actually, I've probably seen a dozen within 3 miles of the way the crow flies. There was one about a half a mile from this location about 5 years ago, and then the most recent was about a month and a half ago on video over at the Spur Cabin property. One thing led to the other. My wife and I just decided, let's just call it Red Moose Ranch. So that's what this is. There's the woodshed. Oh, looks like a marmot right on the grass right there. A lot of marmots around. So welcome to Red Moose Ranch and welcome to Life on the Moose. So I'm looking for a plank for baseboard about 1 inch thick. Oh, sorry, Robin. There's a robin in here. Oh, let's go see what's in the nest, should we? Okay, we'll make this quick. I really don't want to disturb her. Okay, I think I found what I need. This is my 1 inch stuff for baseboard over here. And then I found this board. This is from the old house that we tore down off of that property, off the Spur Cabin property. And this is, I don't know if you can tell from there, but this was the very top board they used on the outside for siding, or probably sheathing, because it still has the notches from the rafters cut out. So I think I might use that, keep the notches in there just for design, and use that for a belly band that I have to put up on the gable end. All right, well, let's get this stuff to the barn and cut it to size. So here's that board from that old house. So I'm gonna keep these notches in here, but I'm gonna narrow this. This board is about 7.5 inches wide. I'm gonna cut it down to about 5 inches wide. And I'm also gonna straighten it out. It has probably a 1 inch bow in this board. It's deflected that much, but I'm gonna cut that out so it's a relatively straight board. I'm not worried about perfect. I just want it straighter than this. This is also about 16 feet long. The interior of the cabin, being a 12 by 16 cabin, the interior is about 11, but I also have corner trim, so I'm not 100% sure what the exact length is going to be. So I'm just going to cut this to about 12 feet right here, and then I can cut it to size when I get to the cabin. So first thing is to snap a line and straighten this board out. Well, I have my belly band done. I'm calling it a belly band. It's the transition piece between the vertical and the horizontal tongue and groove. Check out these saw marks in there. The old circular saw. That was a long time ago. Let's work on the baseboard next. I'm gonna use this Ponderosa Pine. This is the same thickness of the flooring. It's about 7/8 inch thick. And this is about 4.5 inches. I'm just gonna straighten the edges out a little bit. I'll do a light sanding on it, and I'll make you watch every second. No, actually, I can't make you watch anything. See, you have all the power here. It's just really not fair. All right, enough tomfoolery. Let's make some baseboard. Okay, that baseboard is wrapped up. Next thing I'm gonna do is make crown molding in essence. This is gonna go between the walls and the vaulted ceiling. So I gotta cut one side at a 45 degree to get that angle of the ceiling. So these are about 4 inches net right now. So I'm just gonna straighten out the edges and run this through my table saw with the blade at a 45 to get the angle we need. So then after that, I'm gonna cut this stuff into basically squares. This is about 1 1/8 inch thick, and I'm going to cut that 1 1/8 inch square, and that's going to go in the corners. I'm not going to miter my baseboard. I'm just going to butt my baseboard up to these. 1 o'clock, I just finished up with lunch, so I need to get this stuff cut, get it over to the cabin, and get it in there today if I can. Oh, by the way, this is the second last episode of the Spur Cabin build. Man, that blows me away. Karen told me to remind you that my channel will still exist after this build. So we don't want to give anyone the impression that, oh, we're going to go away after one more episode. We're not going to be in existence anymore. Not the case. We have plenty of projects for, I don't know, 10 to 15 years. So I'm going to be around for a while. Well, let's keep woodworking. Working on the shady side today. I'm gonna go ahead and lacquer everything and oil everything if I need to. I'll probably lacquer until I run out. So the first thing I'm going to put up in the cabin is the corner trim. And I'm gonna run that piece of corner trim all the way top to bottom. And as I mentioned, everything's gonna butt up against it. So since that's first going in, I'm gonna lacquer this first. By the time I get done lacquering everything else, this should be dry enough to get going with that. I have a tarp set up right here, so I'm just gonna let them dry in the shade, and we should be good to go. Well, I never thought I'd say it 2 videos in a row, but let's get lacquering. So I decided to oil these corner pieces with the tung oil. So don't look at this like you have to watch some guy apply tung oil again. Look at it like you're watching this beautiful scenery out there and some guy just happens to be in the way. That's better, I think. Good morning. It's a new day. You didn't even know I was gone, did you? I finished up oiling this woodwork yesterday, and it was after 6 o'clock. I was hungry, so I had to go. There was just no arguing with my stomach. So the first thing we're going to do is put that corner trim in. I was a little bit hasty putting my coat rack up already, so I'll have to take this down, cut about an inch off, and put that back up, so no biggie. So same with these corners. I'll just put little sections up there, make it look all finished and tidy. And then after the corner, we'll probably get going on the baseboard and then work our way up. Okay, well, let's get to work. corner trim is in. As you saw, I decided to put the corner up on top as well. So that's done. I wanted to get the tall ladder stuff out of the way. So I'm going to work on that belly band next. Cover up that transition between the vertical and the horizontal. And if you remember, I had that piece with the notches from the old house. So I'm going to take the middle notch and just notch it out a little bit bigger, fit around that light. It'll be perfect. Problem solved. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, right here is my middle notch, right there. And once I get this in, then I think we'll work up in the loft and finish everything up there. Okay, well, let's keep trimming. We'll have all the ceiling work finished up. Now all we have left is the baseboards. I think I have enough left. I'm not 100% sure. I cut it a little bit closer than I wanted to. But that's all we have for woodwork. Coming along. I like how this piece turned out. What do you think? A little bit of that old house. Seems appropriate. I like it. Okay, let's keep going to that baseboard. And then this episode is done. Thanks for watching this episode of Life on the Moose. I appreciate that. So next week we're going to finish up that deck and the door, and we're going to hang a solar light on the outside. As far as the door is concerned, if this was your cabin, what color would you paint the door? I have in my hand a can of paint. Karen and I picked it out. What color do you think we chose? What would you choose? I'd be curious to know. Well, make sure you come back next week and we'll find out. Until then, take care of yourself. Be good to each other. I'll see you soon.